and that is a Yahweh Master by Sami Kengela, all the way from Cape Town, an incredible artist who is really supporting our radio big time. Ladies and gents, I'm so excited, I'm so thrilled, I'm overexcited because at this incredible afternoon, I'm not by myself. We're not even doing a telephonic. This time we have the man himself in the studio. And for those who are tuning in on our live Facebook broadcast, you can see him seated opposite of me. You can just give a wave to our viewers who are already tuning in. Lots of support, lots of love for our guest. We are very thrilled to have none other than Mr. Ricardo Peterson. Mr. Ricardo Peterson, do you want to give a shout out to our listeners, your fans, I believe your family, friends, and all your clients that are tuning in and supporting you?
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having me, John. I appreciate the platform.
Awesome. So, ladies and gents, this is the Have You Got What It Takes show. As it says, have you got what it takes? Because we like to have engagements and conversations with people who are out there, changing lives, doing incredible things, getting out of the box, literally, and going and doing phenomenal things. And Mr. Ricardo Peterson is an incredible gentleman. He has just shared with me off air that he's a man who's in the finance industry, but he's also doing amazing things. So, Mr. Ricardo, do you want to just, before I read your biography, do you want to say what exactly you are into?
Okay. So, I'm in the financial industry, and I've been in the banking sector previously for a period of 15 years until I ventured out into other opportunities within the finance industry as well.
Absolutely amazing. So, Mr. Ricardo Peterson is a 42-year-old married man. He said he's married to Gabriela Peterson. Shout out to Gabriela. We love our wives and our sisters. They are dear to us. Together they have 2 children. He himself, that is Ricardo, was born and raised in PE and lived in Queenstown and East London for a while. He has been in business with eggs now for a year. So, as I said, we love having our local entrepreneurs here. We love supporting, our entrepreneurs. So, I want to ask from the very get-go, because this is the this is the $1 billion question. What drove you into this? What inspired you to go into entrepreneurship? Because I believe, you already have stability, in your job in finance and all that. So what drove you?
I think I have to be honest at this point in time and just confess that the driving force was, firstly, my wife. She supported me on this journey. She pushed me and asked me that I should spread my wings and see what I can do. And also with COVID coming along and the 2 years that we were in the financial dip that we found ourselves, we thought that diversification of income was necessary. And I delved into the opportunity, and I must say the support has been phenomenal from my family, friends, and my clients out there.
Absolutely. Talking about support, every business definitely needs incredible support, and we want to just we want to thank our incredible supporters and the men and women out there who are supporting Ricardo Peterson, the likes of Shano Leander, who's saying, I'm at the age where seeing eggs for 50 rand makes me happy. Ricardo is your guy. Shout out to Shano and Blue Flame. These are incredible people that have been on this platform. It's great to see that they support one another. So, as you said, you are in the business of eggs.
Correct,
right?
Yes.
So, do you want to just clarify, what exactly do you mean the business of? Do you want to just detail?
So basically, I sell a range of large eggs and super jumbo eggs. Those are my 2 product lines that I sell, and I've been doing it for about a period of 1 year now. My eggs are ungraded, which means they are not wrapped with a specific label. I can put my own label on there, which I'm busy currently in the design phase of doing, so that my brand can go out into the market. I've done some market research, and I just checked lately that my prices are quite competitive within the market.
Yes,
so my
absolutely.
Super Jumbos is my best seller at the market,
Wow.
and clients are very very intrigued with that egg that they are getting from me.
Absolutely. Eggs for $50. That's a tray of like how many?
30
That's
eggs per tray.
30 eggs per tray for 50. Man, guys, we're gonna share his number now. Please keep that phone going and buzzing every single time. So, what does it take for somebody? Now, this question is really geared at somebody who wants to get into a business similar to this. What did it take you, and what does it take to get into business such as this?
Okay. I think first and foremost, my cousin Shane, we started the little thing together about a year ago.
Okay.
And obviously the capital input was not that high, dependent on your client base that you had, and we had to build it from there. After a couple of months, Shane pulled out and he said, this is not for me anymore. He felt there was too many headaches, and I took over the business and I pushed on. So firstly, the client base that I had was determining in terms of the input that I had to put in. So I started with a small client base, and I moved from the informal market to a more formal market. So I serve two types of markets. I've got an informal market that I serve, which is my individual customers, and I've got a formal market that I serve, which is my restaurants, coffee shops, garages, and people that bake in the baking industry. So that customer takes quite a large amount of stock from me on a weekly basis and also on a daily basis. My informal market keeps me alive, and that's what keeps the churn running, because those are daily buyers and they come cash on delivery. So your input costs are not really that high if you'd like to start up. Your supplier is local. I get supplied from a local farm within the Eastern Cape area.
Wow.
And my delivery gets done to my doorstep.
Wow.
And from there, I then have my distribution channels in terms of my delivery schedules daily.
So it's not rocket science. Basically, what we're saying, this is somebody out there who's got just the little bit of money to get it going, just the initial capital, as you said.
Correct, yes.
To get it going, you just need the brains and the have you got what it takes factor. So as you said, entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
No, it's not.
As you said, you started with your cousin, and do you want to define in your own way what is entrepreneurship and why are you in entrepreneurship?
I think if I had to define it from my own perspective, I was a banker. And I sat with a lot of entrepreneurs and I listened to their stories where they started. So for me, it takes, number one, perseverance. I think it takes a lot of strain on you, because now you're not reporting to a boss anymore. You have become your own
You are
boss.
the boss.
You are basically your own boss. And I think from being in the banking sector, and specifically from serving corporates in the environment, I learned from that, and I took some lessons from that. Is that hard work pays off at the end of the day. You have to persevere and push through, and just engage your customers regularly. Find out what can you do to change certain things. Engage with other entrepreneurs as well. Chat to them, find out what is happening in their businesses, what is happening in their markets that they serve as well, and from there you can just grow from strength to strength. So it's basic principles of bartering, trading, and putting in the extra effort.
Absolutely. Guys, you have to make yourself, outstanding in business. You mentioned that you serve two different kind of markets, the formal and the informal markets. And basically, as you said, in terms of capacity, in terms of how bulk, the supply is. You said the formal actually, orders large quantities, and that's what I want to get into. Say we have somebody listening right now, they are owners of, let's say a restaurant or something like that. Do you have any limit, to a supply capacity wise, and in terms of what protocols do you have in terms of ordering in? Do they have to phone in? If they have to phone in 3 days, 2 days, short notice like today, can you supply, let's say 100 trays of eggs in, a little bit of time? What is your protocol?
So firstly, before I sign on a new client, I always check with my supplier what my capacity is like. So capacity at this point in time is not a concern. I can supply up to 300, 400 trays a day.
Wow.
Dependent on the order that I get. So I always have stock on hand. I normally put the protocols up front with my customers and say, if you're going to need eggs by Monday, put the order in on Thursday. That gives me sufficient time to work out my schedule. That gives me sufficient time to make sure I've got stock on hand to supply you on the specific day and time. I do have occasions where a customer will phone me on the spur of the moment, like in the morning, and say, can I get 10 trays today? Those type of things happen. So I normally have backup for those type of things. So from a market perspective, in terms of supply is there. It's available. I can supply up to 3 pallets, which is 20 boxes per pallet. That's what I can do at any point in time. And if anyone wants to order those quantities, they can get hold of me telephonically, or I'll leave my email address later on the show.
Awesome. So we talked about supply. I just want to find out how is the demand like in this industry, and in terms of the market segment that you are resourcing.
I think since they've relaxed the COVID regulations, the supply in terms of my formal market has picked up. So at the moment, I've got a coffee shop that I'm supplying in the PE area that's running a breakfast special, 25 rand a breakfast. That's 2 eggs, bacon, and toast, and that's happening 6 trays a day.
Sure.
Because he's serving so many breakfasts. And then those relaxations of the COVID regulations has helped a lot. People are coming out more to restaurants, so they're eating more, and school holidays and winter time is the best time to sell eggs.
Okay.
Because then the kids are at home. There's breakfast every morning for them, and they just want to eat.
Absolutely.
They just want to eat, and winter brings out the eating bug in all of us.
Absolutely. Ladies and gents, if you're enjoying this, please engage with us. Our number is 069-402-1131. We'd like to hear any comments, any shout outs that anybody might have for Mr. Ricardo Peterson. And now talking about the future. All right, you have discussed a couple of things that you're planning in the future. So what do you want to just discuss? What are some of those plans?
So when you look at the type of product that I'm doing, it's one product. And obviously it's a product that everyone needs to eat. So everyone has an egg every day. Everyone has breakfast every morning. People that gym use eggs. It can be used in different formats. People that bake need eggs. It made me realize that I can't just focus on one line of product.
Absolutely.
So I've taken a step back, and I've decided that I'm going to diversify a little bit, and I'm going to go into chicken. And I think everyone understands that the price of meat is so high nowadays that white meat is becoming very cheaper to buy, or much cheaper to buy. So I'm going to be doing chicken lines very soon, frozen chickens, and that I'll be advertising soon on all my platforms that I do advertise. And from chicken, I've also decided that another product line I'd like to bring in is cheese.
Okay.
So those are the type of products I'm looking at in diversifying now.
I'm excited. Those are incredible plans. I love to see, entrepreneur, business owners flourish and thrive, because that's the element. That's the reason why people get out there in business, because they want a future. They want, they want control. They want to navigate into big things in life. So I want to ask now, what drives you in terms of business? What is the end goal? What is that thing, that drives you?
Is retiring one day with not having a headache.
Okay.
I think first and foremost, is waking up in the morning and seeing my family, my kids and my children. And I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing it for them.
Wow.
To keep and sustain them and keep them alive, and to show them that, it's not necessary for you to wake up and go work for the boss every day. You can do your own thing, you can push your own agenda if you want to do that. But I think the main thing is just setting the foundation for my future, having that nest egg that we all can have, because the cost of retirement is very high if you calculate it at the rate of inflation. So the cost of retirement is the driving factor for me in terms of, will I be able to still sustain my lifestyle at the age of 50?
Wow, that is an incredible thought. I didn't even think about it. That is an incredible thought out there. Guys, this is a platform where we bring a value near to you, and I believe this incredible value that it's, Ricardo is just sharing with us. Some thoughts you need to think about. The value of life, even when you retire and stuff. It will not be like now. When you're looking about the inflation rate, prices, soaring high and stuff like that. So, Ms. Ricardo, please just tell us, in terms of like, where do you see the future of things ultimately getting? Are you going to open your own store? Do ultimately branding things and stuff like that? Do you have
So
some
the ultimate goal is to have a little store running, obviously where I can have more stock holdings at hand, and also I'll have my chicken lines, I'll have my cheese lines that will be running in there. But obviously there is other ways, or other alternative products as well that's out there. You never know who can approach you for shelf space or floor space within your little store. So the ultimate goal is to open up a small little store. And my eldest son yesterday in the car when I fetched him from school, he said, "Daddy, who are you going to put in the shop there?" And I said, "I think weekends I'll put you in the shop." So he was already thinking about what are you going to do when you open up the shop, because they can see the growth that's happening. They can see the amount of eggs that's going out the door daily, so they understand the growth behind it. So the ultimate goal is to have my own little store, my own little shop running. And I've actually, just before the show, I made an appointment with someone that's going to do my web design layout for me soon.
Wow,
and I'm seeing them in the course of this week. So things are looking up, and I'm positive about the future.
Absolutely. So watch out for that website. It's coming. Watch out for that store, guys. It's coming. We have Anita here in Diamonds, and she's saying Jeremiah 29:11. That is for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and plans for a good future. She said, "That's my son."
Yeah, that's my mother.
Oh, absolutely awesome, man. Thank you guys for the incredible love and support. So, for people who are listening to us right now, and man, they're like, give us his number. We want to get in touch with him. We've got, we are maybe a catering business. We need somebody to supply us with eggs and chicken and all that you're planning. How can people get in touch with you? Do you have any emails? Do you have any numbers? Yeah.
So people can get hold of me on my cell phone number. It's 076 607 0050.
You want to say that again?
My cell phone number is 076 607 0050. My email address is petersonricardo1@gmail.com. It's PETERSENRICARDO and the number 1@gmail.com.
Ladies and gents, please get in touch with him. We want to see, Peterson thriving. We want to see the success factor. What it looks, when one person really succeeds, because there's a great support. The community is just behind, him. He represents a family. He represents the future of his children. Let us support this incredible man. But before we let you go, we have a tradition here that we let our guests give a word of encouragement, because we know some days, some people, are on their down days. There's good days, there's bad days. So do you want to inspire somebody? Maybe somebody's tuning in right now and is like, Lord, I want to be like that man. I hear the story and I hear the plans and I'm so excited. What about me?
I think firstly, I would just like to say that no matter what the mistake is that you make in life, learn from it, grow from it, and use it to your advantage. Thank the Lord that you can wake up every morning and still experience life as what it is. We've all survived COVID. We've survived the pressures that came with it. And I just want to encourage everyone out there that no matter what life throws at you, learn from it, pick yourself up, dust yourself up, and continue on the journey that you're on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those words, and thank you for your time. Thank you guys for supporting him. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Shano. Thank you so much, guys. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for coming for this incredible show. We're going to wrap up this show with an incredible song called The Savior Is Here. Don't forget to tune in later because we have Deirdre Williams coming on here with her incredible show at 3 p.m. It's me, your host, John, and it's a pleasure. Cheers.